good day. I am Adiola of Dandy Fashion School. We're into fashion designs and bag making as usual. My returning subscribers, they know me. So Dandy Fashion School, we're into fashion designs and bag making, but as usual, I'll be going into bag making section. The last time we drafted a half circle designer bag. Is that correct? So we drafted the half circle designer bag, and today we'll be moving into the stitching parts. So don't forget, I said we'll be cutting two of these. So don't forget, I said the first thing I'll be joining is this. The material is kind of drawing, that's why it seems like I have excess here, so I'll just trim it up. So I'll be turn it to the downside. Can you see something like this? I don't like something like this, so I'll be putting another stitch on it. So I'll repeat the same process for I'll repeat the same process for the second one. I still have my 11 inches. So the next thing I'll be fixing now is my handle holder. So the middle part of this is 5.5, don't forget. Okay. So to get the middle, so this is the middle. The pen is erasable. You can still erase it after this. So you can still erase the pen. So I'll just use this pen to mark the middle. So that is the middle. So from that center part, so for me to fix this square holder, so from that center part I'll measure, let me size it first. So from that center part, I'm okay with 1.5 inches. Are you getting me? So I'm okay with 1.5 inches. So this is where my 1.5 inches is. To the left side and to the right side, I'm okay with 1.5 inches. And then from the upper part, I'm okay with 1.5 inches as well. Can you see? This is my 1.5 inches. So let me fix that so that I can see. So don't forget 1.5 inches from the upper part and then 1.5 inches from the center part. So now I've done the same thing. Can you see? So I'll be repeating the same process for the second part also. So the next thing is for me to fix my zip cloth. So in fixing my zip cloth, I'll be taking this round measurement. But what I want to lay more emphasis on is this both side part. The zip won't be full part, like starting from here to the other side. No, there will be, for instance, the whole body measurement, the whole circle, the whole half circle is 25 inches. I'll be reducing it here by 2.5 and by 2.5 here. You can make use of 3, you can make use of 2, you can make use of 1.5. It all depends on your preference. So I'll be reducing it by 2.5 here, 2.5 here. That's 5 inches. So I'll take the whole 5 inches. Okay, let me measure this one first. Let me see what I have. So what I have here is 24 1/4. Let me take it again, and if it still remains the same, fine. So what I have here is 24.5. So what I have in total is 24.5 inches. I'll just remove the 4.5 inches. I'll make the reduction of 4.5 inches, and I have 20 inches. So that means I'll be cutting 20 inches of this. 20 inches. So this is my 20 inches of this. I'll be joining material to the both side. So half inches of sewing allowance, that's extra 1 inches. So making 21 inches. So I have my 21 inches. I will insert my zip head on both sides. So now I have my zip head fixed. So I'll cut the material that I need for the both side. So don't forget I said it is 4.5 inches. So 4.5 inches with half inches of sewing allowance, that's 5.5 inches. So meaning if I divide this 5.5 inches into 2, I'll be having 2 3/4 on one side and 2 3/4 on the other side. That is for the length. And for the width, I'll be making use of this zip width, which is 1 1/4. So this is my 2 pieces of it, and I'll be joining it to both sides. So you can find the middle of this. this is the middle, so just notch it a little bit, then you start fixing it. Don't forget I said I love stitching it twice, like stitching it on two different places, just to make the material more relaxed. So I'll repeat the same process for the other side too. So now we are getting there. We are almost through. So this is the last phase of it. So now we have to measure all we have. So we have to measure what we have in total. So that's what is going to determine the bottom. So let me start from here. I have 23. What I have here is 23 3/4. So let me measure it again just to double check. So what I have here is 23 3/4. 23 3/4. Oh, I forgot to put the second stitch on this, so I'll quickly run through that now. So now we are gradually getting here, so, but this is the last part of it. Sorry, this is the second to the last, because the handle fixing is the last part of it. So now what we need to do now, can you see we're actually getting there? So what I have here now in total is 23 3/4. So now we have to decide, how do you want, okay, I think we have a guideline here for how wide we want it to be, like the length. So we can have the length to be around 11 inches. What I'm just trying to tell you now is we'll be making a rectangular shape. We'll be making a rectangular shape. So that means all the four corners of the rectangular shape must be equal to 23 3/4 after piping. I know that is kind of hard for some people. Yeah, it's kind of hard because you have to keep on reducing the sizes, finding the actual measurement before you can get the perfect size for it. So what I'm trying to tell you now is that we have to cut a rectangular shape, and then okay, now we have what we need to have now is 23 3/4 after piping. So how do I get before piping measurement? That means I'll be adding, okay, let me just assume of 26 inches. No, 26 will be kind of much. I'll be adding 1.5 inches to it. So in adding 1.5 inches to it, I'll be having 25 1/4. Do you understand? So that means in this rectangular shape, all what I'll be having is 25 1/4, and then after fixing my piping, I must have 23 3/4. Do you get it? So now this has already given us the guideline that we can, the guideline. So So the length here now, this is 11 inches. That's 11 inches. So I'll make use of 11 and a half for it. 11 and a half inches. So this is my starting point. So I'll measure 11 and a half inches. So firstly, let's start from based on assumption before we get to the final stage. So for the length, for the width rather, I have 11 and a half inches. So for the length, let me make use of 5 at first. 5 inches at first. And don't forget, on all edges I'll be having just a curve. It won't be too much, just little curve on all edges. So now I have 5 inches of width and of length, 5 inches. Why the width is 11.5, 11 and a half inches. So now I will measure it all around. If I have my 25 inches, 25 1/4. What I have here is 31. That is way too much. So that means I'll be reducing the 5 inches. Okay, let me make a reduction of 1 inches. So I'll make use of 4 inches now. So let me measure the 4 inches and check the final result if I'm able to get my 25 1/4. Here I have 29 3/4. That is way too much as well. So I'll reduce both the length and the width. So for the width, instead of using 11 and a half, I'll reduce it to 11 inches. I'll reduce it to 11 inches. So let me measure that. Let me cut it out first. If I'm unable to get it, I'll reduce the measurement again. I haven't cut these round corners, but I'll be measuring it in a round shape like that. I don't want to cut it yet. Don't forget we are looking for 25 1/4. What I have here is 28 and a half. That's too much. So let me reduce the length again. So I'll be reducing the length to 3.5 inches. So I'll measure it again. So I want to reduce the width. So I will be leaving the length like that. The length is 3.5 inches. So let me reduce the width. So instead of 11 inches, I'll make use of 10 inches. So before cutting it, let me measure it. I think I'm almost there. So let me cut this one out first. Now I have 10 by 3.5. So let me measure it. Let me find the middle and start from the middle. Let me start again. Hey, I think I have a perfect one. Oh, let me start again. From where I notch. Let's see what I have. So I have almost 25 1/4. So that's what I'll make use of. So the length that I finalized on is 3.5 inches, while the width is 10 inches. Do you understand? So that's how to get your bottom. You assume a number, you assume some inches of length and some inches of width, and then from there you start cutting and trimming it off till you get your perfect one. So this is what, so I'll be cutting this on my material, on my leather material, and then on the piping as well. So I'll notch the middle. This is the middle. So before that, let me cut my handle, because the remaining material is not that much, so I want to cut my handle first before cutting the one I will use to pipe. So this is my handle. So I'll be cutting another material that I'll be using to pipe. So let me cut the material now. I'm I'm not sure if I'll be able to get the whole 25 out of it. That means I'll be joining it. So I didn't mean I have my material is kind of long, so I can just cut the whole piping at once, but it's not that kind of long, so that means I'll be joining it. So I have 25 on quarter or true. I want to cut 26 now. So I want to cut 26 now. Then I may trim off the excess. But in this case that I can't see the whole 26 to cut out, that means I'll be dividing it into two. Then I'll be adding sewing allowance as well. So for the length, I said I'll make use of 26 inches, and then for the width, I'll be making use of 1.5 inches. Yeah, I'm okay with 1.5. I think this 1.5 is too much. It's too much for me. So let me just reduce it to. After all, the belt I want to use, the piping I want to use is just 1/2 inch. So I'll reduce it to 1 inch. Sorry about that. 1 inch is fine. 1.5 is too much. So now let's get to the sewing part. So don't forget, I said I'll be joining these together. So I'm done piping it. Can you see? So I'm done piping it. So I would love to fix my button stand. So now I'll fix my button stand. So the last thing I need to do now is to fix in. So you find the middle. So now I'm done with the bottom side. Can you see? So I'm done with it. So the next thing is for me to turn it outside, and then after turning it outside, I'll fix my handle. So can you see the final look? Can you see it? Can you see the shape? So the shape came out so nice. So can you see the side we added material to it? So you can make yours to kind of go higher than that. It all depends on your choice. So now the last thing we need to fix now is the handle. So this is my handle, which is 20 by 2 inches. So this is 20 by 2 inches. So this is the handle. So this is the handle. I'll be leaving about 3 inches before starting my sewing. So I left 3 inches, and I'll be repeating the same process for the other side too. So now we are done with the bag. Can you see? So the last thing left for us to fix is the handle. So now I'll fix the handle. I left 3 inches on both sides before starting my sewing. So I'll be giving it a round cuff. So you can decide to insert your, this is hose, so you can decide to insert your hose. It will give your handle a perfect structure. Can you sight the difference? This is the one I've used hose for. There's nothing here, so there's a huge difference. So my rivets, I'll be using my rivets pin for it. So just watch me. So as regards the drafting of this measurement, don't forget I said it all depends on your preference. Can you see from the beginning to the end? It's very, very interesting, very, I promise it's going to be interesting, and it is. So you can modify it to your own preference. Probably the length, you want something more wider than this, probably you want something more longer than this. So it all depends on your preference. You understand? So once you're able to determine the length and the width, so determining the bottom, it won't be as hard as it is. Do you understand? It won't be as it will be hard as you assume to be. So I hope you understand now. So you can try yours and share it on WhatsApp with me. Yeah, can you see the outcome? Can you see the bag? Very, very lovely. So you can mix it with any other color, you can just mix it with any other color, probably black or something. It all depends on your own preference. So just be creative with it. Very well, be creative with it. So you can share it with me on WhatsApp, probably the e-book. And if there's a part you seems not to understand, please comment, put it in the comment section, and then I'll shed more light to it. The more you like, the more YouTube recommend this video to other people as well. So please do me a favor by clicking on the subscribe button, liking this video, sharing it to your friends, and comment as well. Yeah, don't forget to comment. So, and if you know this is your first time of coming to my channel, please click on the subscribe button and click on the notification button as well, so you'll be the first person to get notified anytime a new video is being uploaded. So for now, I'll be saying goodbye to everyone. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your love. Thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I still remain Adeola of Dandy Fashion School of Elegance and Styles. We're into fashion designs and bag making. Don't forget that. So till then, bye. Thank you.